Get started here. Good afternoon. Board of Supervisors is back in session from a recess. The next item before us is item 6D, timed item for 2:45, which is a presentation of review and research on the Mendocino Town Plan data collection from the planning team. I have to make an announcement at this point before we go to the planning team, and that is I do own a long-term rental that could be subjected to a vacation rental change, and so I will be declaring a conflict at this time and stepping aside and turning it over to the vice chair.
Okay, for the record, Supervisor Wattenberger has excused himself for this item. Okay, this is item 6D. This is a presentation and review and research of the Mendocino Town Plan data, planning team report for board discussion and possible direction. First of all, as chairman, I will accept this time, but if I'm to be the chairman of this, I'm not going to be accepting late dated material of this size and scope at the last moment.
I believe you're holding something from the public.
Yeah, well, wherever it's, it has to be. This board cannot be expected to read documentation at this level, at this late in the game. So make all efforts to get your documentation in earlier, because we can't be expected to hear a presentation and hear, even sometimes it goes into hearings, but we can't have all this kind of documentation coming to us at the last moment. We expected to read it and hear what's going on out here. So it's just something that this chairman's not going to look favorably upon coming in from anybody. Okay, Allison, you want to?
Allison Glassy, Assistant CEO and affiliate with the planning team. So I wanted to kind of give an introduction to where we are with this process and why we're here this afternoon. When the planning team was first constituted, which occurred in late 2006, the board laid out several items that they wanted the planning team to tackle, recognizing that it wasn't possible to work on all of them at once. And as you know, that included the general plan, the update, the Ukiah Valley Area Plan, and the housing element implementation. But it also included the Mendocino Town Plan and the local coastal plan. And it was understood at that point in late 2006 that those items would be addressed in coming years, that it wasn't something that we would be able to deal with right from the beginning. It is now a couple years down the road, and we have over the past, I'd say, 6-9 months, gotten direction from the board, indicated that we could start work on looking at the Mendocino Town Plan, and that looking at the local coastal plan update would be a future project when one of the other major projects kind of dropped off our plates. So the direction that we've received to date from the board on the Mendocino Town Plan was to utilize county staff as opposed to contracting out the process to consultants, to focus on the data first, and only after the data had been looked at and we had received direction from the board, would the board look at whether there was a need for a total revision of the Mendocino Town Plan or a partial or whatever we would do next. So we kind of broke it into two pieces, and the focus on data first. And also the board would be looking at when and if there was further revision of the Mendocino Town Plan, what that public process would be at that point. When this last direction was given to us around the data, we committed to bringing back the what we're calling a data review by October of this year. And so we are meeting that deadline, and that's why we're here right now. So I want to say a couple things about what this report presentation is to you right now, and also I will say what it is not. So what it is a review of the data tables and the formulas that are in the current Mendocino Town Plan. It provides an update of this data, or I'll say similar data, and an explanation of the relationship of the updated data to the data that's in the existing plan. It's a review of the formulas that are included in the plan. We've also delineated what some of the next steps are that the board would need to be looking at in order to proceed with this. And this is an opportunity for the board to provide direction on those next steps so we can get this process moving along. As a comment, I would say this has been a very interesting process, and it's led us to coin a new term, which is forensic planning. And that's where you have data from the past, or maybe it's archaeological planning, and you kind of go in and dig deep and try and figure out what created that data in the first place and how it relates to the present. So we feel like we're kind of plowing new ground here. What the report is not, it is not a revision of the Mendocino Town Plan. That remains to be something that the board needs to give direction on, and a lot more work needs to be done. It's not a done deal on the data for the tables. You as the board would give direction on what you want to do with the data and where you want to place that or any revisions you want. Nor is it an occasion for voting on a revised Mendocino Town Plan, because I did see a letter that was talking about that's what was going to happen today, and I want to be very clear that there is no revised Mendocino Town Plan,